Hi, my name is Anshul Prasad, and today we're going to learn how to dockerize a Flask application. So right here I have my simple Flask application. I'm going to run it. And I'm going to copy this my link to the browser. And it works. In order to create a Docker container, we need to create a Docker image. And in order to create a Docker image, we need to create a Docker file for our program. So we have to create, the first step of creating an image is to have a base image that we can build on top of. So right here, the from command allows us to get the base image from Docker Hub, which is Python latest. This is the base image that we should use. Copy allows us to copy any file that we want to copy into our Docker container. And as I specified here, means current. The dot means current directory. So everything in this folder will be copied to the Docker container. We also, for our program to work, we also need to expose port 7000 because our Flask application is running on port 7000. So that's what expose does. And we need to install all the dependencies in our Python program. The simple way to do this is to run a command in the Python shell that we installed earlier, which is pip install -r requirements.txt, and we specify what we need to download in the requirements.txt. This can be anything, but for now we just have our Flask and the version of Flask we want. An entry point is the command that we're going to use to run our container, and we're just going to do a python serve.py, and this just executes our Flask program. So in order to create a Docker image of our application right here, we need to do a Docker build. -t, and I'd like to use -t to name my Docker image that I'm about to create because it makes it a little more organized. Dot. Never forget the dot, otherwise it will not work. And I'm going to do a Docker images to show where our new image has been created, and it has been created right here. Now, in order to run our Docker image and turn it into a container, we need to do a Docker run. And since we're running on port 7000 in our container, and we also want to run it on our application on port 7000 on our local computer, we do a -p. The -p flag is a port specification. We're going to do a port forwarding here. So right here, I'm going to go to port 7000 on my computer, and I'm going to map it to port 7000 that is running on our Docker container. And we're going to specify the image that we're running on, which is Flask. We already named this. So right now, it's running on the port 7000, and we're going to run our program again. And right here, we have our program works just as we ran it earlier. So in another video, we will go over how to push this image into a Docker container repository and how to upload it to Docker Hub. But for now, thank you for watching my video. Hopefully you tune in for the next one.